Hey friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this video. My name is Steven and I am almost a dentist. I'm a fourth year dental student and I graduate from dental school in just a few months. And this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while because I have a lot of ideas and expectations for what my career will be like as a dentist. I'm only a few months away now and I'm very excited to just sit down and kind of give you all of my thoughts of what I expect dentistry in my career to be like. I think this will be interesting to look back on in a few years once I've been doing dentistry for a while to see what things I was right about, what things I was wrong about. If I had made a video like this before I went into dental school, looking ahead at dental school and sort of my expectations, I'm pretty sure basically every single one of them would have been wrong. And so that's why I'm doing this. And also hopefully you get some enjoyment out of just hearing my thoughts about what I think my career will be like. If you enjoy videos about dental school and if you want to see videos about being a dentist, I will be making plenty of videos in the future about my career as a dentist. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoy it, and comment below what your thoughts are, where you're at in your career, and just let me know what you think. Before I get into this video very quickly, I want to thank Janae, Jeans, and Caleb for featuring me in the UTHSC Dentistry magazine. This thing is freaking awesome and I happen to be in it. There's your boy right there, looking spiffy. Janae wrote this awesome article about me and about what I do on YouTube here with you guys, and we just kind of got into a bunch of different topics in this article. And then Caleb over there at UTHSC took this and many other photos that appear here and as the thumbnail for this video. So thank you to both of you for the hard work that you put into this. I am absolutely honored to be a part of this magazine, and this just kind of means the world to me. I plan on framing this somehow because I'm proud of it, and thank you for doing such a good job. I think all the time about becoming a dentist. It's something that I'm very excited about. Going through dental school and just spending 4 long years in this grueling process. You have a lot to expect, a lot to look forward to. There are things that I'm excited about, there are things that I'm nervous about, and I kind of wanted to just try to dive into as much of that as possible today. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the patient load and just pace of dentistry when compared to dental school. In dental school, in our 3rd and 4th years, we see a max of 2 patients a day. In private practice, we can see anywhere from, 8 to 15, 16 patients a day, even more depending on what you're doing. And so obviously jumping from 2 to roughly like 12 or 14 patients in a day is a massive, massive change. And for me, it'll happen just like that. The big difference between dental school and private practice, of course, however, is having assistants that you pay good money to help you do all the things that you need to do in a day as a dentist. In dental school, we do everything for ourselves. This includes the front desk's roles like scheduling patients and making sure that the schedule is all worked out. It also includes setting up and tearing down cubicles or rooms. It includes taking x-rays, taking impressions, doing all these things that we in the future can pay assistants to do. And in my state, in Tennessee, and probably in other states as well, we have what are called expanded function dental assistants. And these people are amazing. They basically can place restorations, they can take final impressions and do like some other stuff like that that really helps alleviate the workload of the dentist. A good expanded functions assistant is invaluable. I will have the pleasure of working with a couple of them in my career and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to have their help. I plan to do a lot of the work myself, but I also plan to delegate responsibilities to them so that I could use my time wisely as a dentist. But I do think in the beginning, when I start out, things are gonna be a little bit overwhelming. I'm expecting to be just kind of swamped in the very beginning. Like the first couple of weeks, I'm expecting to really be completely overwhelmed. I think I'll adjust pretty quickly, but that initial onslaught of patients I think is going to be quite interesting. And also that will of course coincide with just getting to know the practice that I'll be at, getting to know all of the procedures that we do there, the materials that we use, the instruments, like where everything is, how it's all laid out, and just like my responsibility and my role there. I'll also be meeting all of my new patients, which hopefully I'll get to see these people for many, many years. So there's gonna be a lot that's happening in those first couple of weeks, and I do think it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming. And this kind of bleeds into the next thing, which is my speed. I would actually say I'm like relatively fast when it comes to doing dental procedures. I'm not the fastest in the world, but I'm certainly not the slowest. Generally, I'm pretty quick at procedures, and the further I've gotten into dental school, I've become faster faster and faster. So I do think that in the beginning, I might be a little bit slow. There's certain things that are gonna take me a lot of time, like endo, for example, which I plan to do a lot of. And then there's other things that I think I could do pretty quickly, like operative and fixed. That being said, I don't think that I will outperform my dad, who's been doing it for 45 years when it comes to speed. I think he's gonna be much, much faster than I am for the foreseeable future. So the ladies up front that are scheduling my patients for me, they'll have to take into account my slower speed at the beginning, and hopefully I can pick things up pretty quickly as I move forward. And that actually reminds me, I did want to mention my plans for private practice. So I'll be going into the dental practice that has been owned by my dad for many, many years, his entire career. And I will be going into business into a 50-50 partnership with my brother-in-law, Dr. Drew Schneider. So our practice is Ray and Schneider Family Dentistry in Ashland City, Tennessee. That's where I'll be starting roughly June or July of this year, 2024. Super excited about that practice. It is a wonderful practice in a small town, a great community with people who have been coming to the practice for many years, and I'm excited to bring sort of my my new how do I put this? Some new procedures, new techniques, a new way of looking at things, young energy. Excited to bring all of those things to the practice and to continue on the wonderful legacy that's been built by the dentists that have worked there over the years. So that's what I'll be doing. Treatment planning. So I've done a lot of treatment planning in dental school, but not nearly as much as I will do in private practice. Basically, to explain this, in a private practice, you are going to be having patients that come in to see your hygienist. Your hygienist will basically do a workup for them. They'll take x-rays and kind of get everything ready for you to come in and examine. And you'll come into the room, you'll check out all the x-rays, you'll do a full head and neck exam of the patient, kind of like you do in school, but just a lot faster. And then you'll come up with a treatment plan for the patient. I think I'm decent at treatment planning, but I have not seen nearly enough scenarios in dentistry in my limited experience to be super, super comfortable with treatment planning. Obviously, like knowing what caries is and how to detect it and knowing when to replace a missing tooth and how to do that, those things are pretty simple. But when it comes to complex treatment planning, full mouth cases where the patient already has a lot of existing restorations, existing work, cases that are interdisciplinary when people have orthodontic issues or they're missing sort of random teeth and you're kind of juggling which teeth do we save, which teeth do we take out. Those are the types of cases that I think I'm going to have to kind of develop a treatment planning philosophy over time and get better with, because at the moment, there are times when I really appreciate having an older doctor to fall back on to kind of give me advice on how to treatment plan this or that case. I do think it's going to take me some time to get up to speed. And as is the case in dentistry, we always learn in dentistry. We never stop learning. And so I plan to, throughout my career, continue to learn new things about treatment planning, about dentistry, about my patients, what they need, what would be best, what would work, what wouldn't work, all of these things. Just think that's gonna take time for me. Let's talk about money. So I haven't really talked a whole lot about money on my YouTube channel so far, but money is something that's very important. Obviously, we're going into dentistry to provide for our families and the people that we care for. Money is a massive aspect of what we do. You can't avoid that. We don't go into dentistry just to become rich, but obviously in certain scenarios in dentistry, we can make pretty good money. And so it's definitely something that is an object of discussion or a topic to dive into. I'm not sure how much about my personal finances I'll get into on this channel, just because I do like to keep my own privacy like a thing, but I do want to talk about money to a certain extent, and I do plan to kind of get into that topic. I don't have a finance background, so I'm not an expert, and I definitely don't want to overstep, but I do think I could talk a little bit about the financial side of things. It's going to be weird to make money for the first time. I've had odd jobs here and there throughout my childhood and young adulthood. I worked most recently before dental school, I worked as a valet. I worked for a moving company. I've done a variety of things, but I never actually made good money. So for the first time in my life here in a couple months, I will actually be making money, like legitimate money that I can live off of and that I can in the future provide for a family with. And the way that I foresee this going is I think in the beginning, it's going to be strange and crazy to see my bank account actually have money in it. At the moment, it's extremely barren. It's a wasteland. It'll be strange. It'll be kind of exciting, I think, in the beginning to see all of that money in there. But you have to remember, and all of us have to remember this, I have immense debt, as we all do. I don't think you could get into this profession and work in a private practice without taking on debt. So my plan, at least at this point in time, when I don't exactly know how much money I'm gonna make, is basically going to be keep my lifestyle the same as it is now, which is basically, living on a student's budget basically and trying to save money here and there, I'm basically gonna try to keep that lifestyle the same even when I start making money. And the reason for that is just to pay off all of the debt. I'm not gonna be making any massive purchases, hopefully in the beginning, house, car, things like that. I'm gonna try to delay those off as much as possible. There are things that I will need to do in my life, things that I will need to purchase, but I'm gonna try to maintain this lifestyle as long as possible. The only thing that I do see myself adding pretty quickly is travel. I've wanted to travel for a long time, of course out of the country, but even just around the country to see my friends and people that I care about, and to see some places that I haven't seen before. So traveling is something that I wanna do, and that's something that I will spend money on in the beginning because it's important to me. So that's kind of the money outlook for now. I'm excited to get settled into my life in Nashville. I grew up here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's actually this bedroom where I'm at right now. And I spent my entire life here for 18 years until I went off to college. And then basically since freshman year of college, I have not lived here in Nashville for more than like 6 or 7 months at a time. But I'm just excited to move back here and actually start my life here like fully and officially. I just think it's gonna be really nice. I think it's gonna be nice to finally put my roots back in the ground and just live here, be with the people I love, and yeah, I'm excited about that. Let's talk about CE. So I plan to take a lot of CE. If you don't know what CE is, it's continuing education. And basically this is courses that you take as a dentist to learn more things about dentistry. You could get way more advanced. You can learn the topics way deeper than you would in dental school. You learn the procedures, but you also learn the materials and how to implement these things into your practice. So I plan to take a lot of CE, certainly in the beginning and just probably throughout my career. Number one, you get to travel, which is really cool. A lot of these are in fun places. You could go tropical and go to beach locations. You can also go up into the mountains and go skiing and stuff, and go on these trips to learn a variety of advanced procedures and materials and things like that. I'm a young dentist, so I am very enticed by all of the technology that we see in dentistry these days. And there's a lot of things that I want to bring and implement into our practice. I think in the beginning, I'll probably take some basic CE courses just to learn kind of next level general dentistry. But I also, and the biggest thing that I really at this point want to do, I want to implement implants into our practice. It's a little unfortunate, but I haven't learned a ton about implants in dental school. They just haven't quite become mainstream enough for them to be a staple of the dental school education. I imagine that they might be in the future, but at this point in time, at least at my school, they haven't been. We obviously have plenty of lectures on them. We learn quite a bit about them, but we don't place any implants. We don't know what it's like to put a screw into bone. And that's something that I really want to do. I want to bring that to our practice in Ashland City. It's important to me. So at this point in time, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to do that, which CE to take. There's obviously a million options out there. I'm trying to figure out what's best for me, how I can learn it most effectively. And I think most importantly, I want to place implants as practice before I bring it into my practice. That's the things that I'm juggling at the moment, but a lot of CE I think is in my future. I think that my patients will like me. Now, hear me out. One of my favorite aspects, if not my favorite aspect of dentistry, is talking to people. I love meeting people, getting to hear their stories, and figuring out how they ended up in my dental chair. I like building rapport and basically establishing a relationship with a person so that by the end of our interaction, they feel comfortable and trusting of me as their dentist. The dentist-patient relationship is extremely important. It's probably one of the things we talk the least about when we're learning how to do dentistry, but it is arguably the most important. Something that I've heard older dentists say lately, just recently, is that patients aren't gonna know the quality of your work necessarily, but they are gonna know whether or not they like you as a person. And I just have this feeling that most of my patients will like me. This might sound kind of conceited, but I say this because I think that I've done a pretty good job in my 2 years at dental school getting people to like me. And I've done that by being honest with them, by caring for them, and just by taking good care of them. That's the most important thing in dentistry to me. I've been given a great responsibility to work on people's bodies. And that's hard to do, and it's also extremely important. We don't want to mess it up, but I feel like I'm gonna take on that role and that responsibility with hopefully like an honest outlook, an ethical outlook, and just always keep the patient's best interest in mind. It's literally the most important thing to me in dentistry, and I feel like I've been kind of given this great responsibility, and with great power comes great responsibility. So that's sort of where I'm at on that. I just think I'll build good relationships with the patients in my practice. I think people will generally respond well to kind of my plan, my philosophy going forward into dentistry, and I'm excited to see how that all plays out. Hopefully that wasn't like crazy conceited. I don't know, sometimes I say stuff in videos and I'm like, is that gonna make the cut? YouTube is going to open up wide open for me. I have wanted to film so much about my dental school experience, and I just haven't done that because I was sort of under the authority of the administration and just being a student at a school. There's a lot of regulations and things about filming in the clinic and filming patients, and so I haven't done nearly as much as I wanted to. I've tried to show all of you the experiences of a dental student as effectively as I could. Basically, like as a dentist, I will be my own boss, and so if I want to film a patient interaction, the patient gives me consent and we have that written and signed and everything, I can film that interaction, or I could just film doing dentistry on a patient. So I think what this will open up for me is a lot more instructional type videos. We need more dentistry content on YouTube, and I plan to be one of the major players here in the future, making content about what we as dentists do day to day, doing procedures, showing you how I do certain things. I'm not an expert, but I have developed my own way of doing things. So I'll show you that, but also showing you what it's like to build a practice and run a dental business, because that's what we'll be doing. I look forward to YouTube opening up to me. I look forward to the ability to make videos on any topic that I want to, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So once again, make sure that you subscribe to the channel to not miss anything that I do in the future. So broadly, I think dentistry is going to be an amazing career for me. I think it's gonna be very difficult day to day. I've seen the effects that dentistry has on dentists. I know it's hard, and I expect that not every day is going to be cheery and amazing. There's gonna be a lot of hardships, there's gonna be a lot of difficult cases, difficult patients, and things are gonna happen. But I do think in the long term, I will look back on dentistry as an old man, hopefully not too old, and say, I really love this profession. It gave so much to me in my life. It enriched my life. It made me a better person. It challenged me. I hope that these things are kind of the reality for me. I hope I don't look back on it bitterly, and I don't expect that I will. I do love dentistry. It's something that I've grown to appreciate, and since the day that I first really saw it hands-on, I've always been kind of fascinated by it, and I'm just still to this day, I'm honored to be a part of this profession. I plan to attack this thing with honesty, integrity, and always keeping sort of my ethical principles in mind when I'm treating patients. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think it'll provide a great life for me and for my family in the future, and I'm excited by those opportunities. From a dentistry perspective, I plan to do all of the stuff that I learned in dental school, starting out in my practice, start basic, and then with time, just increase on what I know and what I can do and the services and procedures that I offer to my patients. I hope down the line I'm into implants and doing some more complex cases, maybe some more cosmetic stuff, adult ortho and things of that nature. But that's all down the line. In the beginning, I plan to just get in, work hard, make some money, and take care of everything that I need to take care of, get better, get faster, and then grow with time, of course. I'm really excited about it, and I hope to bring you all along with me to show you the experience, show you what it's like. I think it'll be pretty fun and pretty interesting to watch. I only have a couple more months of dental school, but I do plan to make a lot of content in these next few months. So if there's anything that you want to see, any questions you have, or content that you'd like to see pop up on my channel, please let me know in the comments. I would love to answer questions or just dive into new video topics that I haven't kind of covered in the past. And I appreciate each and every one of you. You all actually genuinely mean the world to me. I say this at the end of all my videos, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for continuing to grow my channel, for being a part of this journey that I'm on, and just seeing where everything goes. Thank you for being a subscriber and for making this thing happen for me, because it is this right here, making videos, is like my passion. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you very, very soon. As I say at the end of every single one of my videos, I will see you in the next one.